This month is very special to us women. It's our time to be very bold and to be very audacious in our thinking. And the theme of the month really is, give to gain. And I think this is so apt with what we are also on the verge of doing. My firm, AfriGlocal, is a venture capital firm, and we really are interested in making sure that we address the disparity when it comes to making capital available to businesses, and particularly women, who are leading businesses. 3 years ago, we had this epiphany of, how do we solve this problem? Everyone is always talking about it. The statistics are always coming about only this tiny amount, 3% of total capital flow went to female founders. I remember at that time I was speaking to a colleague who was at LST of OE, and I was saying, this problem is not only about founders, it's even about investors. You don't have enough representation at that level to make sure allocators are very well represented as females. We realized that both founders and funders needed more female representation. And I dare say this idea was very warmly agreed to by an LSTF. And here we are, can you imagine 3 years going strong? We are now at the FFF 3.0 session, where we're going to be supporting female funders to what this program is about. So it's on three areas: exposure, education, and experience. Being risk aware means you prepare yourself ahead of the potential challenges and the probabilities of them crystallizing, which is where experience comes in. You see something, it's probably not as it should. You start putting in place areas to either challenge it, to make it less risky, or the rest of it. And this is where education and exposure is very important. We would mentor, we would support, we would open up our networks, to support the growth and the scale of other businesses. And this is so important, because you start getting the experience. And this is where you actually realize that not all that glitters is gold. You actually start finding, how do you perform a due diligence that really unmask the bells and the whistles? How do you really get comfortable with numbers? How do you really know if this is a potential to return the potential investments that you may have put in? And investment sometimes is even more than capital. It's your time. This program is a parallel structure where the funders are doing their own bit, but the founders too are being supported. That that great idea that you have is probably going to go further if you have the right tools. And sometimes it's not even about capital immediately. It's about getting the right kind of environment, the right kind of markets to understand what you have, the right network to push it, the right off-takers, as I like to say, and then capital then comes in. So the impact of what investment really means. Females who are interested in becoming allocators, be it investors, or just wanting to understand what it takes, to be a funder, particularly because women really should be supporting women in their journey. It's going to be a very, very interesting opportunity, and I would endear everyone to apply for this month's accelerator, which will be starting April 4th. It's just around the corner. A great 6 weeks of intense learning, networking, sisters for life, should I say, to a woman coming in from different parts of Africa and even in the Western world, coming in to join, listening in, networking, supporting each other. And I tell you that the exposure that this has led to is increasing the caliber of funders in this whole ecosystem. Dare to dream, to be very audacious. Watch this space in terms of the outcomes that will come from here.